vintage photos of Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is an American tradition that has been celebrated for almost a century. Every year, millions of people gather on the streets of New York City to witness the iconic parade, featuring massive floats, marching bands, and gigantic helium balloons. Over the years, the parade has evolved and become more spectacular, but the magic of the early days is still alive in the vintage photographs that capture the spirit of the parade's origins. From the early days of the parade in the 1920s to the 1960s, we will show you stunning images of the massive balloons and colorful floats that captured the imagination of millions of people. In 1924, store employees marched to Macy's Herald Square, the flagship store on 34th Street, dressed in vibrant costumes. There were floats, professional bands, and live animals borrowed from the Central Park Zoo. At the end of that first parade, Santa Claus was welcomed into Herald Square. At this first parade, Santa was enthroned on the Macy's balcony at the 34th Street store entrance, where he was then crowned King of the Kiddies. With an audience of over 250,000 people, the parade was such a success that Macy's declared it would become an annual event, despite media reports only barely covering the first parade. The Macy's parade was enough of a success to push Ragamuffin Day, the typical children's Thanksgiving Day activity from 1870 into the 1920s, into obscurity. Ragamuffin Day featured children going around and performing a primitive version of trick-or-treating, a practice that by the 1920s had come to annoy most adults. The public backlash against such begging in the 1930s, when most Americans were struggling in the midst of the Great Depression, led to promotion of alternatives, including Macy's Parade. While ragamuffin parades that competed with Macy's would continue into the 1930s, the competition from Macy's would overwhelm the practice, and the last ragamuffin parade in New York City would take place in 1956. Since 1985, the parade was traditionally led by the New York City Police Department Highway Patrol. In 2019, the cast of Sesame Street led the parade in honor of the show's 50th anniversary.
If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel.